This is the digital nervous system of Integrate IT. This is the system that feels the pressure, the pain, the losses and the wins that are happening at the client at any one time. We're connected to every single client on a 24/7 basis.
This is Rob Sussman, last year's top private sector CIO in the African ICT Achievers Awards. As CIO of solutions company Integrate IT, service delivery is at the top of his agenda.
From here is where every single client is measured, is monitored, is maintained, and is able to view exactly what is going on in terms of every single process, every single system, every single IT system. So what we have here and what one can actually see is we have a group of nerve center agents, which essentially are people that are taking calls, they are logging calls, they're opening incidences, they're converting incidences, whether they need to be change requests or whether they need to be actioned and resolved and updated. What we can actually see is the first line calls are coming in over here. The nerve center handles thousands of calls every single day. There's also a lot of second line support calls, like for argument's sake, what Carl is actually doing over here. Integrate IT has the technology that enables it to remotely take over, to remotely manage and administer any IT system without pre-installed software, and that's the key.
Integrate IT found its niche 5 years ago with the concept that top quality service was what the market needed.
Essentially, the formation of the company was a couple of guys that got together in the early days of 2001, and we sat around the table and we looked at the market and we said the market's at an all-time low. We said, what does the customer actually want? And we focused on the business element. We focused on the business requirement. We used IT as a vehicle to offer exceptional services using our underlying skill and technology and partners and best-of-breed global practices.
In order to ensure solutions are constantly in line with client requirements, Rob needs to pay close attention to market shifts.
You've seen in the market that you either adapt or you die. You either change and you go where the market is going, or you stay and you get left behind. So you've got to constantly, again, obsolete your own model before the market does it for you. You've got to be very, very careful that you don't do that too late. But you've got to also be very careful you don't do that too early. So you've got to really get your timing right. So a CIO needs to understand services, obviously needs to understand very good corporate governance as well, because corporate governance plays a very, very big key today. And when you talk about corporate governance, you talk about the RICA Act, you talk about the Interception and Monitoring Act. So you need to really understand how it affects business.
Rob believes the company's biggest asset is its staff.
It's actually not about technology, it's actually about people. Because you need people to implement, you need people to continuously monitor, to manage and to maintain. And it's about having the best skills in the industry, it's about retaining these guys, and it's about moving forward with these guys.
With the need to maintain and hone this intellectual capital, training and knowledge transfer are big priorities.
How do you convert the intellectual capital that these guys retain, and they learn and constantly grow? How do you transfer that IP to the rest of the team? And how then do you transfer that IP into structural capital? And that's the key. Because structural capital is the knowledge that is kept and retained inside a company. It doesn't leave. It doesn't leave the company. It's always retained. And you grow a very strong knowledge base about your business, about the market, about the sector, about the global practices, about your clients, how you engage with them and how you actually work.
Understanding your client's business, and not just from a technical point of view, is a key challenge. Customers need to see tangible proof that the solutions have made a difference to their day-to-day operations.
And that's essentially where companies fall short. You get a bunch of very good techies, and the truth is it's not good enough anymore. Maybe it used to be acceptable. In today's times it's not acceptable. Companies want to engage with providers that have skills that, sure, they have a very strong technical background, and the technical background will always have to be exceptionally strong and the best of the best. But these guys need to have a business acumen. They need to understand what the client's business is, what the client's business needs in order to make it better. So we essentially are not engaging with the client who has all these business processes. We're not engaging on that level, whereby we have a techie that's going out and doing break fix. We're engaging on that level with him. And that's what's very, very key to me, is that we are adding real, tangible business benefit.
When it comes to decision making, Integrate IT exposes its integrated nature. Sourcing ideas from all levels of the company is a way of ensuring innovative and feasible solutions.
Through the engagement, the social engagement and the business engagement with our people, and I talk about people, it's from the bottom up. We get ideas from everyone in the company, and we listen to those ideas. Sure, a lot of ideas are not our business focus, but the ideas that are, we will without doubt, we will workshop them, we will chat about them, we'll make sure that everybody understands them, from our CFO to our MDs, to our middle management, to our nerve center team, to our help desk, and so on and so forth. We get the buy-in, get the ideas from everybody, then we take that, we convert it into a proper strategy, and we implement.
And when it comes to seeing those ideas through, Rob sees his role as putting them into the right context.
For a CIO, it's not good enough to be technical. And that's the truth of the matter. The qualities of a CIO needs to obviously have leadership ability. He obviously needs to have a very, very, very strong technical background. He needs to understand technology. But more important than that, a CIO needs to understand the market. So a CIO needs to understand what the market wants from IT, what the market is expecting from IT, what the market is doing with regards to IT, and where the market is actually going.
Ensuring you're moving in the right direction involves plenty of planning. Rob believes it's risky for a CIO to focus all their energy on day-to-day crisis management.
I really believe that 30% of the time needs to be spent on the day-to-day offerings and the operational IT aspect, whereas 70% needs to be looking at, how do I get this business to run better? How do I get this business to have a better offering, to get the workflow workshopped, to get it smoother, to get it operating, and to essentially make an impact using IT.
The exchange of ideas to forge better solutions is at the heart of what CIOs are about, and communication between CIOs from different industries is something Rob would like to see more of in the future.
I believe that the CIOs need to talk amongst themselves. There are practices that we see in some companies that could be implemented fantastically throughout the globe. And if we could be given the opportunity to actually sit down in a room and workshop and get all the CIOs to come together, maybe under some particular forum, I believe that the ideas that one would get out of that would be phenomenal.